right, I'm sitting down with Scott Redler, a longtime restaurant industry veteran, most recently with Mokas, also very involved with the Restaurant Association and ProStart, which we'll talk about.
Yes.
Scott, tell me though, let's start with your career and what people should know about you and your history here.
How about the important thing is that 50 years, just at 50 years in the industry, which is just absolutely amazing to be able to work in industry with this many opportunities, this much excitement. You get to work with people every day that you want to hang out with too. And not many people can say that. So started at 15 years old, typical start from with nothing story. So many of those in our industry that talk about that. We are the industry of opportunity. I only say that 12 times a day.
Yeah.
It is so critical and so important to be able to see that. And we just love giving back.
Yeah. And then we'll get to how you're able to do that with the Restaurant Association now. But I think most people probably remember you had a long stint with Freddy's. You helped to scale Freddy's.
Yep.
And then you were a part of Mokas. I'm really interested in your work with Mokas, which you're now on the board. This is really tapping into the beverage trend today, right?
Yeah. So Freddy's, my partners and I started Freddy's about 24 years ago or so. And it was a blast. I mean, taking a concept that you're really building one and thinking that you're just going to build one, then you build a second because you're too lazy to drive across town.
Yeah.
And then people go, wait, I want one. And all of a sudden, you're at 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, I think 5 something now.
Yeah.
Just a great story. And then when we sold it, I said, wait, I'm not quite ready. You just don't flip a switch and go to nothing from going 100 miles an hour. So a good friend, Jason Ingermanson with JRI Management, which owns largest Freddy's franchisee and many other brands, Chompy's and Mokas Coffee Eatery, said, hey, help me for a couple of years. Help me with this brand. And he talked me into it. My brother Barry is president of JRI, who was in a different industry, and getting to work with great people and have fun. And we have our first franchisee, Christian Coleman, and Christian and I worked the floor the last day and a half, and and just have had an amazing time. It's great to see someone see the scope of our industry.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. What did you learn scaling the Freddy's business that you helped them with at the Mokas business?
I think the attitude of err on the side of the franchisee. I also am a big believer in no back end deals for when you're dealing with franchisees, whether it's food, equipment, whatever you're doing. When a franchisee is told, hey, you should use this grill, this fryer, this croissant, the reason should be it's the best product for the brand. And if I had a different title, it should be protector of the brand. And when you do that, when you don't do anything on the back end, everyone knows your motive is always pure. And I just think that is, in a franchise world, critical.
Yeah. What are some, for somebody who's been in the industry for 50 years, what are some lessons you can impart to the younger generation, which I know is important to you?
Wow. Great question. I think listening, being involved with the board of the National Restaurant Association, being involved with other restaurateurs in Kansas and Missouri, traveling all over the country and all over the world, I think the number one skill is still going to be the basic one of listening. Even the last couple of days walking the floor, I learned a lot. I had some information. We had our leadership summit and we had a pod system with 6 different or 8 different topics. And we got to sit in each pod for 20 minutes and talk about one topic. I learned a lot. So listening, don't thinking, be the last one to talk in a room. I like that. And listen and learn.
No, it's really good advice. All right. You have helped to spearhead a new program from ProStart.
Yes.
And I'm sure most people will know about ProStart. This excellent program from the National Restaurant Association Educational Foundation, which really provides resources for high schoolers to learn more about the restaurant industry. Tell me about this new program that you've activated this year at the show.
So it's called Jumpstart ProStart, but let's start with why.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to go back. The term that I told you I use a lot. We are the industry of opportunity. We are the place where someone can start with nothing or negative. That's me.
Yeah.
And work hard, be smart. I'll take some luck in there. Wherever it falls on the pendulum, I'm okay. But take all those components and you can win in our industry and have a blast, have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Work is not supposed to be, oh, darn it, I have to go to work. Work is supposed to be, cool, I get to wake up and go to work.
Yeah.
And I always felt our industry is that way. So what happened was I'm sitting going, wait a minute, Betsy and I, we sold the company, and what can we do to help give back? We believe in that. And Jumpstart is taking a group of kids from ProStart and bringing them, and other groups, and bringing them to Chicago to see the restaurant show, to understand the scope, the passion, the excitement, the options of our industry.
Yeah.
And it's not just someone who wants to be in culinary or management. It's also, what about our major suppliers? Somebody wants to go work at Ecolab, or understanding all these ancillary businesses that support our industry to make it happen.
Yeah.
And it could be creating recipes for riches or whatever the case may be. And then helping bring something to market and expand it, and marketing and sales and distribution. So you got the basic food, which I think is a majority, management and culinary, but you also exposing them to the scope of what we see here today.
Yeah. So then there was a process where students could submit and be accepted into this program?
Yeah. So brand new program. We're tweaking it as we go a little bit. But we had 39 schools, based on one email that went out, apply to send their students.
Wow.
And this year we decided, let's get it together and understand it. And they're from Lafayette, Louisiana. I was so fortunate a couple mornings ago to have breakfast with these 7 students and the 2 teachers. And this is what's cool. The breakfast started like this. And the kids are eating and like this, granted it's 8 o'clock and you're a high school kid and you're not awake yet. I get that.
Yeah.
But by halfway through our hour-long breakfast, they're up like this. And they're going, hey, I want to open my own restaurant. And what do you think of this? And culinarily this, and management this, and the excitement, the passion was so fun to see evolve in that hour. And I think they're going to walk away from this going, this is amazing. And so the question is really great to know, why did we do this?
Yeah.
All right, let's take 100 ProStart kids. Let's do a group of 100 ProStart kids that go through the program as it existed last year, and maybe 10% will end up in our industry. I believe that by doing the same, take the same 100 kids, send them to Chicago, and let them see our industry, that 40 or 50% are going to stay in our industry.
Yeah.
That's the reason. And also have an opportunity. A lot of these kids that were here, some of them haven't been on airplanes before, haven't traveled. And so they get to experience a lot of life's lessons along the way. And I think I'm looking forward to hearing the survey results when they're back, and hearing the excitement, and we'll make adjustments as we need to. But our goal is to expand this program and make it something that, we're sending 50 or 100 kids a year to Chicago. And the NRA EF team, Educational Foundation team, did such an amazing job with their agenda, meeting with major suppliers, understanding all the different components. It's just truly, I don't know how we can lose.
Can you imagine if you had this 50 years ago when you got into the industry?
It would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, I think I had been on one airplane in my life. And, and I thought I wanted to be a lawyer or an accountant at that age. And if I would have been exposed to even exposed to ProStart, and, honored Ted Fowler last night at a Silver or Gold Plate Award dinner, who received another award, was one of the people who helped start ProStart. And those kind of programs are so amazing. At the end of the day, if we're able to help change someone's life for the better, I think we all win.
What can you tell me about the future leaders of America? Because, industry is a lot different than when you started in it. We look at, 18, 19, 20-year-olds today. They have had phones and internet and all this since they were kids.
Yes.
How do you think that affects the industry in the future?
So I think your comment's great, because we all should be a little concerned about those components. But the hospitality industry is walking up to a table and talking to a guest.
Yeah.
It's working in the kitchen, talking to other cooks, working with them to get food out of the kitchen, all those components. And, I always was a little concerned about that. And then 2 years ago, I went to the ProStart NIPSI, National ProStart Invitational, and you see the passion, the excitement. You see everything that these kids do, that they stand for, the hard work that they're putting in, the mission-focused role, and you go, we're in good shape. Our industry is going to be in great shape.
Yeah, tell me about some of the characteristics then you see about these kids. I mean, obviously passionate,
Yeah.
right? They see a lot of this on pop culture or social media. What is it that you think especially is going to take this industry forward?
So I think that our organization has done a great job. It's great to have passion, but you also need competency.
Yeah,
And so we're helping take the competency level from here to here. And by doing that, all of a sudden, and as you do that, their confidence level goes up. You know, somebody who's confident is great walking up and talking to a group. I was with someone yesterday, and they were two young ladies from K-State, and I help there, and I'm go to classes and chat with classes, and they came up and approached another person and myself. Hey, we're from K-State. You would talk to our class, and not everyone does that.
Yeah.
The kids that's like this on their phone, they're not walking up and engaging like that.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing to see that.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome. Thank you for everything you've done for the industry. Thank you for this program because it's exciting to see what it can do for
It
the
is.
future.
This is fun.
Yeah.
This has a tremendous future. And I hope that 10 years from now, we're sitting down and talking about 100 kids coming to the show.
Absolutely. Well, Scott Redler, thank you for your time.
Absolutely my pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.